Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you guys an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stay for a while and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you guys more than you know. So of course, as you can tell by the title of the video, we're going to do 3 eye looks and talk about the new Pat McGrath palette, the Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction. But before I talk about that real quick, I do want to say that 2 of the eye looks in this video, I had the portable AC on, and in the last video that I posted for my channel, if you already saw that, I just wasn't too happy at how loud the AC was. So I decided from now on, every time I film, I'm just going to turn off the AC and hopefully my makeup doesn't melt off. Weather seems okay. We have cloud coverage coming in and out, so my lighting will probably change. We do have 3 eye looks to get through, so let's go ahead and get this video started already because it's probably going to be like a 30-minute long video. Okay, before we get started with the actual eye looks, I just wanted to show you the last 4 Mothership palettes next to each other, kind of, sorta. Because, and I will talk about my thoughts, don't you worry, I will talk about my thoughts. So this is the new Mothership 10. This is the Mothership 9 Utopian. This is the Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2. And this is the Mothership 7 Divine Rose. So pink, pink, pink. The same woman right here. Beautiful. I mean, she's beautiful, gorgeous, right? The packaging is gorgeous. There's no doubt about that. But I just feel like these 4 palettes look the same. You can't even really tell which one is which if you're just looking at it. Okay, let's get started on these eye looks. All right, guys, let's get started with this eye look number 1. First look, palette is completely untouched. I haven't even swatched it yet. Okay, so I think for this look, I'm going to try and stick cool tone. Like, don't use any of the pink and like the mauvey tone. So we're going to jump into the brown, which is Extreme Nocturne. And this is a Sigma Brianna Fox 1, and I think I'm going to do a halo eye. So let me start here, and then I went ahead and used my MAC paint pot in soft ochre. So I want it really concentrated in the crease but blended out everywhere else. And 2, bring it out here as well. Because I already know I like to wing all of my eye looks. Bring it on the lower lash line, but only about halfway in. Okay, and this is what it's looking like. I'm now going to jump into some glitter glue. This is by NYX, and you don't have to, but Pat McGrath and her special shades are very messy. This is like a little Sigma flat brush, and this is gonna go all over the lid where I want the shimmers. All right, and now I am going to pick up this shade right here, Platinum Dusk, and this is more of a metallic shade, I feel like, but like a hybrid, because it looks chunky, and I'm going to put that in the inner corner. I'm kind of tapping it in first. All right, this is what that's looking like. The next shade I'm jumping into is this one right here, which is Blitz Venus. I'm going to use the same brush. I did wipe it off, and the same thing, I'm patting the shade in. Oh, I feel like this one's a tiny bit more warm tone than cool tone, really. It's fine, we'll make it work. Alright, that's what that looks like. Now I'm going to jump into yet another Astro Blitz shade, this one right here, Astro Lilac Aura. Same brush, I'm just wiping it off every time. And this is going to go right at the end to just top it off. And I'm tapping and lightly swiping because I don't want too much fallout, even though as I'm saying that, I'm getting fallout. And this eye look is pretty shimmer heavy, but I feel like it looks pretty, right? What do you guys think? All right, now I'm going to jump into this shade right here, Skin Tense Glow, and it's like that inner corner shade that she pretty much has in every single palette. I'm going to use it for the inner corner. It's pretty, wow, that's pretty icy. Almost like a white. And I did put glitter glue down here as well, so I'm going to bring it all the way to meet up with that brown. And don't you worry, we are going to touch up that brown because I feel like we did lose it a tiny bit. Alright guys, and here is finished eye look number 1. It's a very, I feel like, bright but sultry and definitely leans more cool tone, I feel like. But I think it's because I only used one of the matte shades. I feel like if I would have used either the mauve tone or like the cool pinky tone, every single eye look I create with this palette is going to look the same. So that's why I decided just to keep it to one matte and incorporate more shimmers. And it's actually, you can't even see it with the camera, but just the transition between all 3 shimmer shades, it just looks really, really pretty. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to eye look number 2. Alright guys, let's start with eye look number 2, and I am going to start off with the pinky shade, which is called Rosewood Romantique. This is a Sigma E25, it's like a fluffy flat brush. And I'm going to place this on the outer corner. I used the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, and I did not set it. To bring it up as well, almost like a V in the outer corner. Bring it on the lower lash line, about 2/3 in. Alright, there is that shade, and I don't know guys, it's looking pretty rosy on my skin tone. I'm going to jump in to the dark brown in the palette, which is called Extreme Nocturne. And this is a Sigma E45. It's a small little tapered brush. And I'm going to bring this only in the outer corner. I'm just going to deepen up. Maybe do like a little wing. Alright, and here is what those 2 shades are looking like. My lids are going through it right now, guys. They truly are. They are so dry. I would say definitely take your time blending out the Extreme Nocturne shade, just because it is such a dark shade that it can actually look patchy if you don't take your time to blend it. I went in to my NYX glitter base, and I'm going to put that on the lid. This is mainly so that I don't have too much fallout. You don't have to do this stuff. I'm just doing it because I want to. And I do feel like it makes the shadows pop a tiny bit more, especially the special shades. Now I'm going to jump in to this shade right here, and then this shade right here. So VR Sextasy and Astral Gold Lutz. I think I'm going to put the VR Sextasy on the bottom, right next to that dark shade. Now using the same brush, I just tapped off the glue. Now with that same brush, I did wipe it off. I'm going into the gold shade, Astral Gold Lust, and that is going to go right on top of the VR Sextasy. And this gold one definitely feels like it's a tiny bit more chunky than the VR Sextasy. Alright, that's what we got. And if you feel like the brush is not applying them as like opaque or like bamming your face that you want it to, just pick a tiny bit with your finger. I used my pinky and I dipped just the lightest amount and I tapped it on top of what I already had, and I felt like that really just popped it more than it already had. Now we're going to jump into that inner corner shade right here, Skin Tense Glow, and I went ahead and wiped off the brush, and that's going to go in the inner corner. I did put a tiny bit of glitter glue in there as well. Alright guys, and here is the finished eye look. I think it looks beautiful. I did go in with Pat McGrath's eyeliner in Black Coffee. I probably should have gone with like a nudie shade, maybe a pink. I did go with a pink blush, just to kind of pull the whole pink together. And I am actually pretty happy with this eye look, even though we used that pinky tone for the like transition shade. I do feel like it's still pulling pretty pink on my skin tone. Don't be afraid to play around with the shape of your eyeshadow. I feel like if you are me, I get bored and I play around with different methods and applications of putting on my eyeshadow. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the third and final look, and we can discuss this eyeshadow. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started with eye look number 3, and I'm going to only use one matte, this one right here, Plum Cabaret. This is a Sigma E40, and I'm going to use this in the outer corner, only in the outer corner. I'm going to wing it out. Hopefully that looks different than the other two, or at least the last look number 2, because I feel like this Plum Cabaret and the pinky tone Rosewood Romantique, they don't look too different once they get put on the eyelid. Although I do feel like this one's definitely pulling a tiny bit more like purple than pink. I feel like the other one, the pinky one, was pulling really pink on my skin tone. I'm going to bring this about 2/3 in. Okay, this is what it's looking like. I did wing it out, and I also made sure to keep the outer corner darker than the rest of the shade, so it almost looks like I have 2 shades on. Okay, now we're going to jump in to my NYX glitter glue. I mostly am doing this, you don't need it with Pat McGrath shades, but her Astro Blitz shades are very flaky, and this for me personally prevents all the fallout. So I'm going to add this in here on the lid, almost create like a cut crease with it. I also put it in the inner corner and a tiny bit down here. Okay, I think there's only one shade that I haven't used other than the matte shade that I used on my crease, and that's this shade right here, Bronze Devotion. I almost wished there was like a dark shade like this where it's like a metallic. I already used that, so I think for today I'm going to incorporate this one, and this one. This one here, Bronze Devotion, and I think I am going to use my finger. It's like a metallic gold, and that's gonna go right in here. This might be like a plummy gold eye look, I think. That looks very pretty, doesn't it? Okay, now I'm going to go into Astral Gold Lust right here. I definitely feel like this one pulls a tiny bit more gold. The other one pulls more like peachy pink. And this is gonna go right next to that one shade. I'm using my index finger. All right, I wiped my finger. Now I'm going to jump into this one, Blitz Venus, which honestly I don't remember if this is the third eye look, so I don't remember if I used it or not. I think I used it in the first eye look. I'm not sure. Okay, this is going like literally right in the inner corner. And I think I'm also going to put it as like the inner corner highlight. Yeah, there we go. And down here too, since I have glitter glue. All right, guys, here is the third and final eye look. There is some wind, so you might hear that. Apologies. I went ahead and just used mascara. As you can tell with, I think, my most recent 3 or 4 eye looks, I've been kind of lazy with lashes and just kind of keep just to mascara. I do need to keep up with my lash serum. I haven't done it in a couple of days. Okay, so yeah, here is the third and final eye look. I decided not to do an eyeliner. I don't know, I just love how open it looks. And then for lashes or mascara on the bottom, I only did mascara on the outer corner and left the inside bare. And I definitely feel like that opened up the look a little bit more. And for blush, I mixed the 2 matte shades, the 2 pinky plum tones, and I feel like that worked out really well. I had been using Eyes of Venusian Sunrise, I think so, for the last 2 looks, and I decided to change it up for this one. But yeah, this eye look is beautiful. I do love the fact that it's plum and gold, and I hope I created 3 eye looks that look different to each other, because I feel like they can look the same if you use all the mattes, I feel like, right? Okay, all right, let's get to swatches and giving you my thoughts about this palette. All right, hopefully I can make them all fit on my hand. So Skin Tense Glow, that's like that inner corner shade. Rose Rude Romantique, Extreme Nocturne, and Bronze Devotion. Platinum Dusk, such a pretty color. VR Sextasy, Plum Cabaret. That's a horrible swatch. Sorry guys, that's a horrible swatch. There we go. And Blitz Venus. Okay, the last 2 Astro Blitz shades, Astro Cold Lust and Astro Lilac Aura. So these are the 3 Astro Blitz shades, and I definitely feel like these 3 look very similar, especially when it comes to depth. So if you pile more than one, I feel like you can barely tell them apart, kind of like these. I don't know. All right, well, here are the swatches of the Mothership 10. Okay, now it's time to compare the Mothership 10 with the last 3 Mothership palettes, because I definitely feel like out of all of them, those are the ones that have the pink theme in them that we're kind of tired of, right? Okay, so here is Mothership 10 Moonlit Sunrise, and here is Mothership 7 Divine Rose. So even though, yes, there are some differences, I still feel like they are pretty close to each other. I definitely feel like Divine Rose can pull cool tone, and I also feel like this one is more on the cool tone side as well. Now, granted, today's look, it's like plummy and gold, so it's more showing up more warm tone on my eyelids, but I still feel like this new Mothership palette can pull cool tone, which, yes, I do appreciate that she did that for this new Mothership palette, but I still feel like other than the Astro Blitz shades, everything else we have already seen from her. Okay, now we're going to compare Mothership 10 to Mothership number 8, which is Divine Rose 2. This one is, I feel, more on the warm tone side, especially because of that gold, and then it also has that pop of pink. But I feel like in the mattes, you see them? She's given us almost the same thing, you know, like a plummy and then a rosy tone shade. So I feel like we're all just kind of tired of that, right? Now in this one, it looks like there's only 2 matte shades, and in the Mothership there's 3. There's no brown tone in this one, no. But I do feel like, as far as the matte shades, she needs to give us something different. Okay, now last but certainly not least, let's compare it to Mothership number 9, the last release. And this is Mothership 9, the Utopian. It's a Utopian Dream. other than the purple Astro Blitz shade, there it is, I feel like she's given us the same thing. Look at the two matte shades. Okay, well maybe in this one she gave us more of like a rosy tone and a peachy tone, but I feel like it's not too different. Oh, and she did give us also a matte brown, which is different from this matte brown, but still, like, they are different, but there are some similarities in it. Again, the matte shades. I feel like she needs to give us something different. Okay, so like I said, sorry guys, I'm running out of time, so I can't do like a ton of swatch comparisons, which is really what I wanted to do. Definitely compare it to some other palettes, like the Bridgerton palettes. I feel like those palettes have the pink and the purple in there as well. Plum, burgundy, whatever you want to call it. I think I have two of her quads that also have like that purple plum shade. I just feel like she needs to switch it up. And I get it. I know that she's playing it safe because a lot of people, you know, they could go pretty neutral when it comes to their day-to-day makeup. But I also feel that when Mothership number, what was it, 7? Divine Rose, which is when I first started hearing about Pat McGrath Labs, the palettes were selling out. Like, if you didn't get it at launch, you weren't getting it until she restocked. Now, they're not selling out. They're even going on sale. Typically, if the palette came out and she has a sale, it won't go on sale until the second sale after it came out. I hope that makes sense. Something needs to change because her Mothership palettes are not selling out like they did when I started hearing about Pat McGrath, which was, what, 4 years ago, I think. 3 or 4 years ago. Yes, they're probably selling, but I 100% guarantee you that if she gave us, and I don't mean like a ridiculous color story, but just something that stands out, almost like the Mothership 1 or the Mothership 2, like they have some standout shades in there that you're just like, whoa, that's different. But I can still get neutral shades from that palette. I bet you if she did that for Mothership 11, the palettes would sell out. And I'm hoping and I'm crossing my fingers and I'm putting it out there in the universe that it happens because I want something different. I want something other than pinky tones. Okay, so there you have it. You have my thoughts on this palette. Even though all 3 eye looks that I created are absolutely stunning, don't get me wrong, this palette is beautiful. Pat McGrath does not disappoint when it comes to her palettes. She brings it, and she really brings it. But I definitely feel like, for me personally, what I would like to see is a change of tones. I'm tired of the pinks. I'm tired of like the off purples, burgundies. Like, I'm tired of it. I want something different, something that's going to excite me. And this is just my personal opinion. I know not everybody's going to agree, you know, and it's okay. It's okay. Don't come after me. Like, I know sometimes you say something negative about a beloved makeup brand and like people like chew at you, and it's like, I'm not talking crap about Pat McGrath. I'm not talking crap about Mothership number 10 palette. Is it a stunning palette? I mean, look at this eye look. Holy guacamole. It is gorgeous. But I would just like something different. That's it. That's all I'm asking. It's just a tiny bit of difference in there. Sorry guys, I totally forgot to state whether I recommend this eyeshadow palette. If you have the last 3, I don't think you absolutely need this. If you're a collector, then of course you're gonna purchase this whether I tell you to purchase it or not. I do feel like the Astro Blitz shades are different than the last 3. So if it's going to be your first Pat McGrath purchase, I do feel like this would be a good one. Just because the formula of the Astro Blitz shades do feel different. And I think they might be my favorite to date. So I guess that depends on you whether it's worth the $128 that you have to pay for it. Alright guys, it's me. I know by, and I forget how to review brand new eyeshadow palettes. The Mothership 10 retails for $128. It has an anti-melt shelf life and it was made in Italia. Yeah, I forgot that little bit, so I added it here because I don't want people coming after me. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, that is it. That concludes this review. Swatches and 3 eye looks. I really wanted to go out because I couldn't get this when it first launched because of my no buy. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I did enough eye looks to where I can get a good opinion on the palette. And I still think that the way I felt when I first saw it visually is the way that I still feel, that I'm tired of the pinks. I want something different. She did change it up because it's a little bit cool tone, but I feel like she can give us more. She has before, so I know she can do it. All right, guys, well, with that being said, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed all 3 of the eye looks. I had so much fun creating them. I definitely wanted to make sure that I gave you different eye looks because I didn't want them all to kind of look the same, which I feel sometimes can happen, especially with her palettes. I would love it if you gave this video a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. All right, guys, I will see you on the next video.